So you want to clone a Git repository, specifically a GitHub repository. We've come to the right place. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that without any superfluous details that you don't need. Now, one thing you do need in order to clone a Git or GitHub repository is Git. Git can just be downloaded off the Git SCM website, and you can just accept all of the defaults. It's super easy to install on your computer. I trust that you've got that installed. Now, if you've got that installed, well, the next thing you need is the URL of the repository that you want to clone. I'm going to clone this rock, paper, scissors repository that is on the Cameron McKenzie GitHub repo, github.com/CameronMCNZ. It is a public repository, so if it's a private repository that someone's asking you to clone, well, you're going to have to be given the GitHub URL specifically, because you won't be able to find it on the public website. But if it is a public repository, just mosey on over to that repository. When you click on the repository of interest, you'll see this beautiful green button that says code on it. And just click that drop down box and you should see an HTTPS link. You'll see GitHub CLI there. I don't know, you might see SSH there or something like that. Avoid those ones. Just highlight that HTTPS link. That's your GitHub URL. That's what uniquely identifies the GitHub repository that you're after. You just click the little icon there to copy that URL. And then with that in hand, just head over to your file system, create a folder somewhere where you want to put the repo. I just got one called _repos right off the root of C there. And you can see I've actually cloned a couple of other repositories there, one for Spring, one about creating Git commit messages, some other Spring Boot stuff. And then all you have to do is right click and say Open Git Bash here. That Open Git Bash here link only appears if you've installed Git. So if you don't see that, there's a good chance that you haven't installed Git. Maybe you didn't install those tools. If you didn't install those tools, you can always open up PowerShell, right? So if I try and find PowerShell here, I can type in git -- version, and then it tells me, hey, I'm at version 245. So that's your backup if you don't have that Git Bash option in your window. If you do, just click on that, open that up. That'll open up in the folder where you right clicked and open it. That's _repos, and then it's just git clone. And then just paste in that URL. And now that's gonna create a new folder with the same name as the remote repository. It's going to create a folder called rock, paper, scissors, and it's going to copy all of the files in there. You can even see that folder being created at the top of the screen there. Didn't take too long. Pulled everything down. I'm going to close that window, double click on this folder, and look at that. Index.html, pom.xml, Circes folder. In that Circes folder, there's main, Java, COM, MCNZ, RPS, a whole bunch of Java code, and that might be intimidating to you because it's intimidating to me, but your repository might be Python code, might be HTML code, might just be text files. Doesn't matter. You can store anything you want in GitHub, but I do have those files. And if I looked, you can see index, Jenkins file, POM, scripted pipeline. If I actually went back to my repository, you'd see that, yeah, those are the same files that I've got in my repository there. So looks like everything has been successfully cloned. Now, what do you do once you've cloned your repository? Well, you can do whatever you want to do. It's your repository. But, why don't I just take you through a couple of the basic steps here. I've got a bunch of files in this folder here. I'm just going to create a brand new file, right? I'll create a brand new text document. I'll call it alpha.txt, right? There's nothing special about it. It's just a new file. And in fact, if I opened up the Git Bash shell, I can actually just type in and say git status, and it comes back and it says, hey, you just cloned that repository, brought a whole bunch of files down, but, we're a version control tool. We track files, and we just noticed that, there's a new file, file system. Do you want us to track it? And if we want to track it, we just add it to the tracking index. So we say git add dot, and then if we ask for the status again, it'll say, hey, there's a new file and we're now tracking it. Notice it's gone from red to green. And of course, the other thing you do when you've cloned a repository is you do commits. And so I'm going to say git commit -m, little message there. And I'm going to say, I added the alpha.txt file, and that'll be my git commit message. Now, if you've just installed Git, you have to tell Git your name and your email address. It's not tracked anywhere. You don't get put into a newsletter. But if you just installed Git and you try and do a commit message, it'll actually bark back at you and say, oh, you have to run a git config username command and git config email command and update the local environment of what your email and name is. That's just used as part of the commit so that if anybody goes back in history and sees like an amazing commit, they can say, oh, that was you did that amazing commit, or if you broke the build, they could fire you. But either way, I've already done that command here. I've been using this Git instance for a while, and so my git commit message works just fine. So git commit -m, added the alpha.txt file, and life is now good. If I click on Git and say git status, and now it says, hey, you're on the master branch. Everything looks good. It says your branch is ahead of origin by 1 commit. So, okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I did 1 commit. Now, if you actually want your code to get pushed back up to GitHub, you can actually just issue a git push command. Now, on Windows, it'll automatically log me in using the credentials I used when I logged in through my browser. If the browser authentication doesn't work when you do a push, because you have to be authenticated to push. Anybody can clone a public repository, but if you're going to shove something into a repository, they want to authenticate you. If everything goes well here, it's just going to allow me to use the credentials OAuth in my browser to authenticate me. So I can just say git push and click enter, and boom, it looks like everything went up. As I said, you might get challenged. You might have to log in through your browser to do OAuth. If that doesn't work, you may actually have to go in and set up a GitHub token. You don't actually use your password for logging in to GitHub as the password when you do a push. You actually have to get a token. I got a video on how to do it. It only takes a second, but it's just a little other barrier to entry there. But I just added that file, right? What was the file name? It was alpha.txt. Well, I'm from Missouri. There we go. There's my GitHub repository, but it's not there. I thought I'm just joking. I got to refresh. I do a refresh here. And boom, you got index.html now on the server. So the code that was on my local machine, I pushed to the server. By the way, I don't want to get into a huge tutorial here just on how to use Git. I've actually got a couple of great, well, I think they're great, Git and GitHub tutorials that go into great detail on how to use Git. But the first time you grab a repository, you clone it. But let's say there were some changes to the repository, so we push changes to the repository. What if somebody else made changes to the repository? Well, we can simulate that very easily here, right? I can come here. Oh, you know what? I'm not even signed into this repository. So let me sign in. There we go. That would help. And now that I've signed in, I'm going to add a file. So I can add a new file to the repository. So I'm going to call this bravo.html. I'm not even going to put any code in there, just type it in. Just create a new file. You can put code in there if you want. So now on the server, I've got alpha.txt and I've got bravo.html. I'm going to do a little refresh for it to catch up. And so there's bravo.html on the server. But, if I come down to my file system, I've got alpha, that's what I created locally, but I don't have Bravo. So how do I get it? Well, once again, just right click and say Git Bash here. You can say, hey, I want to pull down all that code from the server. So you say git pull, and assuming you're authenticated already. But here we go. Now I just did the git pull, and the git pull now brings down bravo.html, and now I'm completely in sync with what's on the server up there. And so there you go. That's how easy it is to do a git clone. So a git clone is what you do when you want to copy that remote repository and copy all of its branches down to your local machine. Then once you've done the clone, you do your git commit, you add files, you do your work, you can create branches and do crazy stuff like that if you want. And then what you do is you do a commit, and then you push back to the server, and your files go from your local system to the server. There's typically some credentials, authentication that will happen in there when it's done through the browser OAuth, or it's done at the command line through a token. But you need to authenticate. And then if somebody puts something on the server, you can just pull it down. And there you go. That is the yin and the yang of working with Git clones and GitHub. Now, if you enjoyed that tutorial, why don't you head over to theserverside.com. I'm the editor-in-chief over there. We've got lots of great tutorials on Git and GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. I'm a Java programmer, so we've got lots of stuff on Java and Python, lots of stuff on Agile and Scrum. If you're interested in me, you can always follow me on Twitter at CameronMCNZ. And of course, I wrote a couple of books, so they're behind me there as well. I did some edits on the Scrum Master Certification Guide by Darcy DeClute, so check that out as well if you want to get Scrum Master certified. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just going to say, why don't you please just subscribe on YouTube?